Are you doing everything it takes to get better? Or are you hoping to be an exception? Are you hoping that good enough will work? People always like to talk about exceptions, right? You'll hear people say, oh, well, I just read that there's a man who lived to 102 and every day he had whiskey and steak and smoked cigarettes too. That guy's an exception. That guy's a mutant, really. But what happens to most people who drink whiskey and eat steak and smoke cigarettes every day? They have a short life. They have metabolic disease, emphysema, likely cancers, if not a heart attack, and they miss out on their life. First while they're sick and then when they're gone. My grandfather died at 58 from his 8th heart attack because he was unwilling to give up his alcohol and steak and cigarettes. Unwilling. And he died at 58. And I remember when I was 12 years old, I asked him, I said, you know, Grandpa, why won't you quit smoking? You've had so many heart attacks. Why won't you quit smoking? And he patted my head and said, you're very sweet, but I'm going to live my life the way I want to live my life. And he died at 58. I'm almost 48, and I can't even imagine a counter going where I have 10 years left. I feel so full of life. So, and even for my dad, he felt like 58 was a countdown. He was so scared of 58. And, he's 70 and he's still winning races, running 5Ks. He's #1 in his age group. He works out every day, push-ups, sit-ups, everything he could do, running, because he was scared after watching what happened to his dad. That makes me feel better. I'm glad, But a lot of folks want to live like they're going to be the exception. That, yes, most people who eat poorly end up dying of heart disease. #1 cause of death in the Western world. Knowing that you're sick and saying, well, hopefully this is good enough. You got to treat your life as if it's more valuable than that. And it is. There's nothing more valuable. There is nothing you own. There is nothing you have that is more valuable than life itself. Without life, there's nothing else. Right? Unlike what the ancient Egyptians do, like you can't just bury it with you and enjoy it in the afterlife, as far as I know. So if there's one lesson that maybe she could offer you and I could offer you, is if you're sitting here right now, whether it's in the bathtub or on your couch or in your kitchen, or you're listening to me while you're driving, if you're listening to me right now, I'm talking to you. Are you doing everything it takes to get better? Or are you hoping to be an exception? Are you hoping that good enough will work? If you're otherwise healthy, yeah, you can mess around. You could get away with the occasional cigarette, probably. You can get away with the occasional junk item. But if you're sick and you're trying to get better, you are either feeding the illness or you're working on recovery. That's what you're doing. And you've got to remember, every bite you take, every choice you make, is either feeding the illness or feeding your recovery. And I want you to choose yourself, and I want you to choose your life.